Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith. Today I am talking about The Night Silver River Run Red by Christine Morgan. This is from Death's Head Press, and it is number 4 in their Splatter Western series. Another wonderful cover by Justin T. Coons. And in this book, the town of Silver River was supposed to be a big deal. There were silver mines. The railroad was gonna come through, but as sometimes happens, the mines ran dry. The railroad never came through. So Silver River is it's not a ghost town, but it's not a booming, bustling city in the West either. And this carnival circus performer thing. It's going to tell me on the back oddities, marvels, grotesqueries. I was hoping it would say the name of the thing. But anyway, this has come to town for the weekend, and we start off with some kids. And basically, the kids have been told, all the kids in the town have been told they can't go to this thing. So the night before it's going to open, these 4 kids have snuck out, and they're going to sneak down to the carnival grounds and see what they can see. And things do not go well for these children. First, they bump into some other kids from this. There's sort of this cult up in the mountains, the Truthers. They run into a girl and 2 boys, and they end up getting along fine. So this troop of 7 kids now, they go down to check out the carnival, and things happen, and then things spiral out of control because something else has come to Silver River, and, well, the town is going to run red. It's right there in the title. Come on, folks. So, first of all, Christine Morgan, always a great author. Second, this is a very gory, bloody, violent story. So be warned, it is a splatter western. Again, right there on the cover. So I dig this story. The back doesn't really tell you what's going to happen. It sort of gives you a little bit of setup, but it gives nothing away. So there are some twists and turns in this book that I did not expect. Where it goes, yeah, I had no idea what was coming. And I'm going to try to avoid giving things away. It starts out a little slow. We're introduced to these 4 kids, and they're, again, they've snuck out. They're sneaking to the where the carnival circus, whatever it is, the traveling show, sneaking to where it is. They run into these Truthers. So it's a little while before anything exciting happens, but it's setting things up. We're getting to know these characters, and through them, we're getting to know what kind of town Silver Run is. And it's all very well written. It's not slow. It's building the world essentially. And then when it does hit the fan, then it just starts moving. It's a quick clip, and we're going to be introduced to a whole bunch of other characters. And how do I talk about this without giving anything away? First of all, Christine Morgan's writing style for this book is that very sort of Western storyteller patois. Would that be the right term? It's that sort of this is going to be horrible. But and I'm just making this up off the top of my head, but it's told in this sort of, as Nate Dunn crossed the crick. See, I can't even do it. I don't know, but it's got that sort of that old fashioned Western sound to the way it's told, with a lot of G's cut off a lot of slang type terms. Um, I could just. Let's see. I don't know. See, I don't want to just read. Just trying to find the right sentence to give you. You know what I'm talking about. You're all intelligent people. You understand what I'm saying. I just know it. So anyway, Christine Morgan's writing in this style, and it works very well, especially when it's little kids, young kids, for the first part of this book, because that's the way I think that they would speak and they would think. Um, so I like the way she's written this. It's just not, you know, a modern day writer writing in a modern day style of something that happened in the late 1800s. It's written in a late 1800s, I think, sort of small town kind of way, if that makes sense. And then I like the way she introduces everything and builds the world. And then when it hits the fan, we're introduced to the bad guys. I guess I'll just put it that way. And there is a wild assortment of characters here. And the thing that Christine Morgan does is builds the character of the bad guys in such a way that they're not all just purely evil characters. I mean, they do some atrocious things, but one in particular, it's the kind of character building where you have this person who's doing horrible, horrible things. This is a damaged, possibly evil, most likely evil person, and yet they're not wholly unlikable. There are points where, I mean, yeah, they're it's not someone you're going to invite over for dinner, but there's a point where they're better than some of the other people in the story. I don't know. I really don't want to give it away, but it's fantastic character writing. And then there's another pair of the bad guys that I really loved, because they're sort of they're that contrasting duo, that odd couple. One is a British dandy, for lack of a better way to put it, and the other's just almost a stereotypical cowboy. And yet they're working together, and they've got the banter, and they seem to be friends, at least as much as sociopaths and psychopaths can be friends. They're two characters. I would read a book that featured just not just those two, but if they were the main characters, I would read a book with those two characters. Um, and the characters in the traveling show are interesting. If you look at this cover, I'm not going to hold it up forever, but I think that's in pretty decent focus. You can see a mix of the different characters that are in this book. And some you might be able to tell are obviously from the traveling show. Some might seem like they are, well, I don't know if any are obviously bad guys. Maybe. You might think one is, but you might be wrong. Love Justin T. Kuhn's artwork. This one, man, all of these splatter westerns that I've read so far are just so good. And it's like every time I read one, that one jumps to the top of the list as one of my favorites. Well, this has done that. It's gory, it's violent, it's over the top, it's insane. Horrible, horrible things happen to people, but it's well written. It's Christine Morgan knows how to tell a good story and write complex characters. I feel guilty about how I feel about one of these characters in particular, because they are a horrible, horrible, evil person, and yet it's not that simple. So there you go. Yeah, I would love to see I'd love to see a sequel to this. I'd love to see more about the traveling show. I'd love to see the British dandy and his cowboy companion. Um, I think Christine Morgan has created a world with plenty of stories that could be told. If this is all we get, though, hey, that's fine. I can reread. That's why I own copies. But definitely, I'd say again, I don't know if I gave it 4 or 5 out of 5. I can't imagine giving it less than 5 out of 5. It was so good. But that's The Night Silver Run Red by Christine Morgan, splatter western from Death's Head Press. If you're into these books, absolutely pick this up and read it. If you like Christine Morgan, absolutely pick it up and read it. If you just like crazy gore and horribly evil characters, pick it up and read it. Highly recommended. So, yeah, that's it. I have nothing else to say about the book. I have no question for this video, so if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. That's all I've got for you. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.